Welcome to your new favorite podcast, Glow Big with Stephanie. I'm your host, Stephanie, and this podcast is for all women. We want to inspire and empower you. We're going to bring you style, humor, entertainment, good intentions, big ideas, hope, and a little bit of sobriety in each and every episode. You can get all that and more at vibewithstephanie.com. But right now, grab yourself a sparkly water, put it in a pretty glass or a coffee, and get comfy and enjoy the show. We are here with Becky Fraser. She is just so freaking stunning. Just a different look, and you're going to see her when you go check out her Instagram. But I met Becky through Savvy. She was just starting out, and we bonded over Dolly Parton. You remember that?
Yes. I mean, first of all, who doesn't love Dolly, right? When you're talking a lady of class, she wanted to back out of her Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nomination. Gosh, I've always loved her. I grew up listening to Dolly Parton. I remember my mom cleaning the house to working 9 to 5. Now I do the same with my boys.
You are just so cool. There's just some kind of cool confidence about you that I just have never been able to put my finger on. Like, you're feminine, but you're also this rock star, tough exterior, but you can tell that you're feminine too. What gives you so much confidence?
Oh my goodness. Bless you. Thank you. I would have to say I've slowly come into the role of being confident in myself. You know, the slow down approach to speed up has been a huge game changer for me. You know, I'm a mom of 4, and I think we all can get down with realizing that the hustle mentality is big. And so for me, a few years ago, a morning routine got introduced. I didn't find it on my own. I took a class, and she spoke about how we start our mornings. And I really do think that the most impactful place for you is in your own. You know, you want to make a difference in the world, you need to start on your inner game. And so it is like my religion, and it's directly correlated with how I walk through my day. You know, I have a solid morning routine. I get up like an hour and a half earlier than I ever thought I would, starting at 5:30, but it's my time. And I mean, I meditate, I read both personal development, but also faith-based stuff. And then I do I am mantras. I say to myself, I am a badass. I am walking around with swagger. I say that to myself because 2020 did a number, right? I was walking around like Frank from Shameless, dressing like him, acting like him, and so I've really had to work on some embodiment practices to get out of that, right? Showing up as who I want to be. You want to be successful? What does that look like for me as Becky Fraser, as a mom of 4 boys? What does that look like? Of course, there are days where I want to wear a hoodie and leggings, and so that's okay. So I wear that, but I'll be honest and say that does reflect how I show up in my day. I do think clothes matter. How you dress yourself matters, right? If you're intentional about that. This morning, I woke up, put on my favorite hoodie and leggings, and then I was like, no, I am hopping on a podcast with Steph, and I want to show up as a badass, as someone with a voice. And so I flipped the script with my clothes. I put on my favorite pair of jeans and a t-shirt and friggin' leather jacket. So yeah, embodiment's huge. It's huge, and I don't think it's talked about that much. The power of it, anyways.
What you said about being in your own head, it can make or break you. And definitely getting dressed can also lead the way. I mean, we did meet through Savvy, but I have this rack right here. And I know that if I come over here and pick out something cute, then I'm going to feel better. And if I just go to my drawers inside my bedroom and put on sweatpants, I probably won't feel as great. It does make a big difference. But also that you're changing your habits. You're starting to wake up at 5:30 in the morning and use that time to meditate. And I know we've all heard that before, and we're like, ugh. And sometimes I get on a roll where I am doing that. I'm on power hours, I'm reading, I'm looking at my devotional, and it is nice and it changes everything. But when I choose not to do that, the rest of my day pays, and it just builds up. So let's talk about how you're helping women including myself, really through the trauma of 2020 and COVID and what you're trying to do now.
Sure, sure. And just to make a point, my morning routine didn't start as an hour and a half. So don't feel like if you're hearing this, don't feel like you have to chew the whole elephant in one bite. It's like, I started with one. I think I downloaded like the Calm app, and that's all I did. And then I built on top of that. So, and that correlates, right? Like you said, moving now, what I'm doing with reflecting on the last 2 years is I've been holding space with focus groups for mothers. I think we had to like put on all these hats when 2020 hit and the world stopped. Like kudos to everyone, but moms had a whole and a whole different burnout than the rest of the planet, right? Like we just were the problem solvers. Like if our kids had to stay home. I don't know, like each household was different, but in mine, there wasn't even a discussion of who was going to handle the school. It was me. And I was working full time with 3 kids, but and looking back on that, it's like, holy shit, why didn't we slow down enough to have a conversation? But everyone was on survival mode. And so here we are 2 years later, and it's like, we're moving on, thank goodness, right? And we're making different choices. We're like, okay, now the world's different. We know like opportunities are open up to us because we can do more from home and things like that. But there's a lot to discuss of how we mothered the last 2 years. That has changed who we are. And so I've been holding these focus groups just as a space to pause for that processing, because I've spoke about it before, like the hustle mentality. We just are all about the go, 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 the do. We're moving on, we're moving forward, which thank goodness there's always forward, but we are human beings. And we back to the place of being first. And part of that is healing. We have to heal as mamas. We survived those 2 years. We weren't consciously making decisions. We were like, okay, this is the new thing. And you pivot and it's not the same. It's not the same as it was in 2019. And I've felt robbed a little bit. And I think mothers all have, because we're trying to exhale that, but we haven't taken the time to even sit with it. So it has been a privilege of mine to just host these. They're very casual conversation, a safe space, no judgment, and just talking about what that looked like for each of us, because it was very different, but we all did it.
I think that is so important what you're doing, because just who I am is somebody who likes to skip over the trauma, just skip right on through it and keep moving. And it used to be I could drink to get through that stuff and numb it. And now that I'm not drinking, I'm having to work through these feelings and think about more things. I've got old memories popping up and new ways to handle things. And so to have a space like this to be able to actually get that off your chest and talk about it so that you can heal, so that you can start to move on. I mean, we're moving on. It's moving on with or without us, so that's the unfortunate thing, is that it's going to keep going no matter what. So we might as well like slow down, like you said. And I've always found to slow down, to back off things, to sit still will propel you forward in a much more healthy, successful way. So this is awesome.
The slingshot approach, right? Like you gotta pull back to move forward and move forward in the direction that you want.
Exactly.
I think, working through COVID, it was like we were moving, but we had no control over like where we were going. We were just in reaction. And that's not a good place to be. You want to respond to life, to take the pause, and then make the decision coming from a place of consciousness. And so just having that space to reflect, and it really has been fun. I don't know what will come out of it, if it will just be a platform for women to come and conversate, I'm totally good with that. But if it blossoms into something more, gosh, I'm excited for that too. So
I know that you have been taking this life coaching recently. Tell me how, because I have seen you flourish. When did you start with Savvy? Has it been a year?
yes, yeah. So in February 2021. Is that yeah?
Oh,
I don't
wow.
even
Okay.
know what year it is.
Yeah, yeah. I had to think
Way
about
too
how
early.
long, like, yeah, I'm a little messed up with the years too. But so I remember when you first started, you came out like amazing. You were amazing, but to see you flourish in this amount of time has been awesome. So tell me, has your life coaching helped you kind of come out of your shell? Not that you were in a shell, but I mean, you really definitely flourished, and it's clear to see.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I have felt like at the beginning of the year, like I was in a place of lack, like in a place of desperation, like almost like I'll be happy when, or the success will come when. And I really felt mediocre actually. And I think it was coming out of like COVID, and I didn't know who I was, where I was going, even with like Savvy. And so I signed up with Christy Dole with Hustle to Flow. And I was like, oh, this will be the secret sauce. And then I'll be successful with like my networking. And then from there, joy and abundance and all that garbage. Well, no, she totally flipped the script on me, and we did major inner work and finding the abundance of my life right now, and I am so grateful for that. Finding your truth in the moment right now, right? That really the power is all yours in your day. That the power is all yours. And I mean, I've walked through signing up with her. Like I had a couple deaths and, just cancer scares and things like that, like big momentous stuff. But Christy really gave me some tools that I'll share probably the most impactful for me with you guys. She was holding a mirror up for me. And yeah, I actually signed on for an additional 12 weeks with her because I had to work on myself first before I could touch any other areas of my life. And I do believe that like motherhood for me is my biggest calling, and that's where I'll make my biggest impact. And raising with that conscious mind is a gift, and Christy has given me that. So we talked about like emotions, and right, like you can just wake up one day and you can feel heavy because you're dealing with life, like just as a mama, and it walks you through 5 simple questions. So say you woke up one morning, I think we all can resonate with the feeling of anxiety, especially as a mama. And it's just there. It's not necessarily a part of you, right? But it is a voice. And so acknowledging it is really one of the most powerful things that I learned, was that all these voices that we hear are really here to teach us something and here to love on us. When you do wake up anxious, what is its purpose? And so an example of walking through the journaling with that is the first question is, today I feel. So with the example of anxiety, today I feel anxious and hurried, like my son is going to have some tests and I'm nervous about them. I'm scared. My skin feels tingly and my mind's all over the place. Second question is, today I want to feel. So right there, you're moving and kind of giving yourself the power back, right? Like today I want to feel at peace with wherever the testing goes. Today I want to feel calm. Today I want to feel at ease. And then the third prompt is, today I want to be. So in this same example, I would write, today I want to be present with my son. Today I want to be a anchor for him. Today I want to be a mama bear above all else. Today I want to be a good listener. And then the fourth prompt is, today I want to give. So today I want to give my time and energy to walking through these tests with my son. Today I want to give myself grace and others, as I know that I'm heightened because of what the day holds. Today I want to give time to just be, maybe go for a walk. And then the fifth journaling prompt is, today I want to receive. So here's where you're calling in the abundance into your life, right? So you could say, today I want to receive support from the doctors and the community around my son. Today I want to receive sunshine. I mean, call it out there. Today, I want to receive an orgasm. Today, I want to receive unexpected money. Today, I want to receive a dance party in the kitchen. I mean, like anything, you put it out there and claim what is going to happen in your day. And then right there, like that's it. Like it's all of a 10-minute processing. But what that did was allow you woke up with these feelings of anxiety. You know, you have this big day ahead of you as a mama, but you walked through it. You acknowledged it, which I think is the most important thing, to say, hey, I see you, I feel you. Because a lot of times, especially since COVID, like, we're just going to push that down, numb that, like, and move forward because I don't got time for that. I got to handle this. Where it's like, no, really, that anxiety was there to say, yeah, you are anxious. You have a big day today, but you really just want to listen, like, and make sure you're a good listener. So you hear what the doctors have to say, right? And then you flip that around to where, like, at the end, you're receiving abundance of asking for support, which then, right, as you go out into your day and face this big obstacle, it's naturally going to meet you. And like, I was never a woo-woo person, like before Christy, like to where I thought like, oh, I can speak something into existence, but hell yes, you can. Like your voice matters. And, you know, like the power of gratitude, like saying what you're thankful for, man, does that compound, right? Because it's like, you say like you're just thankful for like the running water out of your faucet when you turn on, and then all of a sudden it turns into like this day of just giving towards yourself and towards others. So there is just so much power in that, and it is all of like a 10 and 15-minute practice. So those questions again are, today I feel, today I want to feel, today I want to be, today I want to give, and today I want to receive.
That is amazing. And if this is all anyone did every morning was take these questions and just look within, holy moly, I think the world would be different, because a lot of us, myself included, my feet are on the ground, my phone is in my hand, and I am in reaction mode from the moment I wake up. And that is not good. That there is no calm there. There is no goodness there. So if you just do these questions and start being more mindful, you will see a lot of improvement. And I totally agree on the power of gratitude and how it compounds. There is nothing that can get you out of a dark space more than showing gratitude. And guys, I put all of these questions in a document. So if you click the link right inside this podcast, you'll be able to get these journal prompts, and you can print as many of them as you want, and you can start using them. And they are from Becky and from her work with Christy Dole. And this has just been so awesome and so eye-opening. And I hope you guys find some use out of those amazing journal prompts. And I'm going to print them too. And I'm going to try to start being more mindful in the morning. I think it's going to lessen the anxiety, and the way that I'm reacting even to Maverick has just been like high stress. And I'm wondering, I'm looking up all of these things, like maybe it's my caffeine intake. Maybe it's because I quit smoking. Maybe I'm in perimenopause. But actually, maybe it's because I need to slow down and be more mindful. And I bet that would solve a lot of problems that I can stop my Google search. What is one thing you want women to know?
I would say you're not alone. I think we feel like we're alone, that there's, especially because of COVID, not to always go back there, but like I can't help but go back there, right? I think we got so isolated as women and as mothers that we're healing from that. And so to switch and know you're not alone, and that it's not either or, that it is and both. That motherhood, that this time that you're in can be both a time of pain, but a time of healing, can be both a time of sadness and a time of joy simultaneously, and owning that and calling that into your life. And it does help to have a community around you, whether that's of one or of many, but, and so to seek that out, whatever that looks like for you, but no, you're not alone, that your feelings are valid. The voices that you're hearing are valid. They're coming from a place of love, and to take the time to digest that, because that's the work, guys. Like, that is mindset is the job. Everything else is the side hustle. You want to be the best mom, you want to be the best entrepreneur, best business owner, whatever it is, best doctor, lawyer, whatever, it starts with your mindset. And so to slow down and be at a place of being, and hopefully the journaling can help with that. There's your 1 degree. You do that for a year, and I promise you, your trajectory, you'll be a different person. You'll be a different person. And from there is the launching pad to possibility, so I guess that wasn't, but that started from the seed of that you're not alone. And we're human, like we're meant to be communal beings, and working through that of like, we went into a time of isolation, and a lot of that brought these extra traumas of what we're working through. And I think as women, there's like comparison and all that extra garbage that if you're in your own head, you can really knock yourself off your feet, so fill your cup first.
I love all of that. And I have a story on that actually about comparison. I'm not typically looking at other women and comparing. It just really, I stay in my own lane. But when I do compare myself, it can shut me down completely. And it happened the other day at Sky Zone. I saw this mom with her little boy, and they held hands. He's the same age as Maverick. They're in the same class. And Maverick has been kind of wild and not really wanting to hold my hand that much. So I did a whole story in my brain in about like 5 seconds about how she's a better mom. They have a better relationship. My relationship with him is so bad. It's, just crazy story. Then a few minutes later, I find out that's not the case. He is, that was just a moment, a glimpse. But by talking to her is how I found that out. And talking to another mom is how I found out that her kid threatened to stab her in the eyeball with a knife. Like, right. And they're all in the same class. So they're all the same age. They're boys. This is what they're doing. But in my brain, I thought I was all alone. I'm the only one this is happening to. By actually opening my mouth to them and speaking, did I find out that I'm normal and this is normal? So community is everything. And I really tend to forget that. I don't reach out. I don't ask for help. And I know there's more women out there like that. So find yourself a community. And I'm going to we have Sober Vibes with Stephanie on Facebook. And I will have Becky tell you what she's got going on in her community, and just make sure that you're not isolating any more than we really need to. COVID's over. It's time to come out, time to heal, and you're not alone. And if you're feeling any type of way, I can guarantee that there's another woman feeling exactly the same way.
Yeah, Steph, I want to give you kudos, because I think there's power in vulnerability, right? And so like being open and being able to share your truth. I mean, look at the trajectory of what's happened in your life because you've been so honest. I mean, it really turns into a lighthouse when we come from a place of vulnerability, and not like airing our garbage, right, on Facebook. That's not what I'm talking about. But speaking your truth in order to empower others. And you think that's really, as a mom, what we do, right, with our kids. I know I've learned that when I'm truthful with my sons. Like, it's okay for them to see me working through emotions, because what does that do for them? It empowers them, because we were given this scale of emotions for a reason, and when we hold it into ourselves, we're doing everyone a disservice, and especially our littles. Maverick sees you reaching out and engaging, and so then that empowers him to do the same. And then we're creating a community of children that will raise up and they'll be better because of it.
Yes, I've actually told him recently, Maverick, I'm sorry that mommy yelled. I'm working through some stuff and I don't exactly know what it is, but I'm working on it. And I'm really sorry you didn't deserve for me to yell. So I do think it's important to be open with them too, just so they aren't wondering if they did something wrong and why mommy's in a bad mood. So Becky, where can I have them find you?
Yeah, on Instagram, it's just at Becky Fraser. And in there's a link. I do focus groups a couple times a month. So just feel free to direct message me if that spoke to you and you'd like a safe space to come and talk and be in communion. Yeah, because I hold them about twice a month right now. So
that's amazing. I cannot wait to join you on one of them and get in there and get some healing done. What about your blog? I've read your writing and it is amazing. So where can they find your blog?
That's linked in my profile too on Instagram. Okay. Yeah, that actually blossomed several years ago. It's called Blackbird. And I don't know if you know the Beatles song, but right, like waiting for a moment to arrive. It started as a confessional of my DUI as a mama. And then from that became a voice all of its own. And so now it's kind of a heart song project of mine, that I dabble in. Yeah, writing is like a love language of mine, and I desire to do more of that. So we'll see where that takes me. Yeah.
You're a great writer. And I never even brought up your relationship with alcohol. Do you want to talk about it for a few minutes?
Sure. I mean, it definitely correlates, right? Like the story of being vulnerable. I think to heal from that, there's a lot of shame and guilt that arose with like having DUI. I had 3 kids and like blacked out one night, was in bed, and then just got up in the middle of the night. Don't remember any of it. And the scariness that comes from, yes, it was me. Like I was the person doing the actions, but the place that it came from was such a dark and evil place. But I needed to face that, and I needed to face my truth in an open, honest way. And that was through my blog. I was able to, I remember sweaty palms when I like posted it out there. But the funny thing is like vulnerability is like a Band-Aid, right? Like you rip it off and then the wound's exposed and now it can heal. And that's what writing did for me. I processed all of that through my writing, and like shame and guilt like doesn't really serve a purpose when you're walking through that. Obviously those feelings came up, but now being so many years removed from it, like it was a pivot in my life. And from there, I learned vulnerability. And I learned, like with my boys, I don't ever want them to be in a place where they feel like it defines them for life. You can pivot in either direction from it. And so the power, like for getting all corny on you, but like, right, the power is you've always had the power to choose, right? Just like Dorothy. Man, we've always had the power to choose. And like, if you need some kick-ass shoes and a great outfit in order to make yourself a little more confident to do that, then frickin' find it. But yeah, and so I am so grateful that I made that decision to be honest with myself and with others, because I know it's helped.
Yes, absolutely. It does. And it is like ripping off a Band-Aid, and it is a choice. And that's like my top tip. Everyone wants to know what to do to quit drinking, what to do. I don't know what to do. Nothing's ever worked. You have to decide. It's your decision. You have the power to make the decision, and you can use your mistakes as a pivotal turning point, or you can let it take you down. And I've done both. I've done it all the ways.
And because we're human, right? Like,
yeah. And this is not the easiest way. Honestly, it's not the easiest way, but at least There's no darkness. That's gone with the alcohol.
You can't have growth without friction. And sometimes that shows up as something on a criminal record, right?
Yeah.
Like from there, you're like, oh, this is where I'm being asked to grow.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's what it was for me. I mean, not my proudest moment, but I'm very honest with my boys about it and with others. So if anyone feels called to reach out, please do.
Totally.
Open
Here
book.
too. Thank you so much, Becky. This was
You're
awesome.
welcome.
It was great to get to know you a little better too.
Yeah, for sure. What an honor. This is exciting. And yeah, thanks for winging it. Like, 4 kids, one's bound to make their way downstairs. So.
They did amazing. They did amazing. Yeah. All right. Have a fabulous day. And thanks for all that you're doing. You're going to help so many people. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you as well. Thanks, Stephanie.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks for hanging out with us today on Glow Big. We hope you're leaving empowered and happy and ready to take on the world. For more information, you can go to vibewithstephanie.com. And if you're interested in taking the 30-day Sober Up to Glow Up course, just click Sober Up to Glow Up course for more information. Have a great day.